I just needed a scoop back.
Take them now.
Ah, yeah, out there. So a lot of people say video. Someone doesn't know we're here discussing some deep things.
When we move it out the way, so you got
Nah. We can add it in there. You know what I'm saying? There's no we discussing some deep things there. We can bullets we like. Alright, I'm just educate us all on something. And the role it plays in us aging quicker. Now, one of the studies on human they did wasn't even a study. A little girl had required a taste of eating salt within a period from 1 year old to 4 years old. After consuming the salt, she started to become very wrinkled. Her organs starting to harden up, and she started to show signs of old age at 4 years old due to eating salt. Now, what type of salt am I talking about? I'm talking about your common table salt. I'm talking about forms of salt that's inorganic. Why we started to use salt. So they had a Dr. J.R.F. Razor. He was a gastroenterologist, right, at the University of Holland. So he was like, I got the secret. I know why the digestive system is eating itself sometimes, because they had situations to where the digestive system was looking like it was eating itself from the acid, the gastric juices putting a hole in the stomach. So he was like, ain't no salt. I ain't got no salt present. That's what's going on. Because he was saying that the salt protects the stomach against acid. So he was like, yeah, we need to get some salt. So they started finding different reasons to use salt. Getting it out the sea, getting it out the mind, or wherever they require salts from. But what was salts doing? People were having more ulcers. They were having more kidney problems. They were having more liver problems. So let's look at this Dr. Razor. Slick, like he is now. You know what I'm saying? He knew that if people started to use more salt, they would have more bad conditions. They would have more people coming to the medical world to what? To get rid of their conditions. You see what I'm saying? So he was promoting the salt as something healthy, which is always the opposite. You come promote it as something healthy, you know what I'm saying? But truly, it's not. It causes bad health, which some of the things were also liver problems, kidney problems, which I'll get into it further on. Assimilation. When assimilation happens, the body breaks down things that it can use. Things that we can notice that we can see every day by paying attention to our feces with assimilation, right? So salt goes in the body as salt, it leaves the body as salt. It's not transformed, it's not assimilated. Same thing, we can look at corn. What happens when we eat corn? It comes out whole. They got theories, people saying, oh, the corn goes in, the body breaks it down and put it back together. What? Okay. Same thing with the grains. Quinoa for one. I notice when I eat quinoa, I go have a bowel movement. Quinoa everywhere. The body not using it. It's not assimilating. So why my body not using it? Oh, let me look at the birds, see what's going on with the birds who eat the seeds and what it does for the birds. It's helping them build bones, helping them build feathers to fly. Why? What does the bird have to break down the seed? He has a gizzard. This gizzard goes back and forth. It grinds the seed to assimilate for his body to use it. Humans don't have a gizzard. That's why we cannot assimilate things like this. This is why grains is also not our food. Alkaline or not, still not your food. They was using salts on animals to paralyze their muscles. So the salt would usually get into the lungs, cause respiration problems. Why? Because every organ is surrounded with a mucous membrane. So when the mucous membrane is irritated, the cells in it are irritated, it needs protection. What protects cells? Mucus. Now you got a whole bunch of fluids rushing to your lungs to try to protect itself. You give 50 kilograms of salt to a dog, you can kill it, most of You can take your own little test, get some meat, pour some salt on it. It'll harden the muscle fibers and retract the juices. It's gonna dry it out. Same thing it does with liver tissue. Salt dries out the tissue, it hardens up. A few things salt does. Irritates the mucous membrane, as I said before. Perfect example of that is when we pour salt on a snail. You see how he scribble it up, starts to contract, and then he dies. The organ is mostly water. Look at a snail like your organs. When the cells contract, they discharge alum and other elements, depending on what type of acid that it lets off. Salt hardens the tissue, salt shrivel up the blood corpuscles. Salt obstructs the absorption of food and interferes with secretion of digestive juices. So the more salty your food is, the less effective your digestive juices will be. Salt hardens the blood vessel. What happens when people have high blood pressure, they have any type of blood vessel problems, the doctor says what? Stop putting salt on your food. Stop putting salt on your food. Salt has an affinity for the lymphatic system. Lymph fluid is more abundant than blood. The blood vessels don't actually go straight to the cells. They turn into lymphs. The cells receive its elements from the lymph system. The lymph tubes in the intestines are called lactose. They absorb fats and oils and they carry it to the thoracic duct, where it mixes with our bad blood that's going to be eliminated during circulation, and it's carried to the heart. So a lot of people have what? Heart attacks, heart diseases, when salt is in abundance in the circulation. It's destroying your whole lymphatic system. Salt absorbs water. So we can look at people who, when they say, okay, let's drink a lot, y'all need to drink 8-10 cups a gallon a day, of course. Because salt creates unnatural thoughts because you need to wash the salt out. In Bright diseases, you can find an accumulation of water in the kidneys because it's trying to dissolve the salt. So the body is holding the water to get rid of the salt. We can see it in all our processed products. We see what when we look on them? Salt, sugar, co-conspirators. They work together. So of course, we got to drink more water. The problem is when we drink more water, we start to drink the wrong water. The wrong water starts ossification of the bones. Now, when is water, like well water, certain groundwater is good? It's good before maturity. Because what we find in the bones, phosphate, calcium, those type of salts, you know what I'm saying? The body can use any type of hardened element to form bones, and we can see that. When they do any study on the bones and they look into it, what does it have? Mostly lime, mostly calcium. After maturity, your bones pretty much form. So what we gonna do with this excess of minerals? Well, we gotta store it somewhere. We ain't getting it out, right? Let's put it in the arteries, put it in the tissues, put it in the organs. Then we come to pink Himalayan salt, right? I should have maybe looked up where this salt comes from, but when I hear Himalayan, I'm gonna think the Himalayan region. And I like to study a lot of the Himalayan people. They're pretty healthy, and when you look into a lot of their old works, a lot of Tibetan people, they live a long time, 340 years easily. Some of the masters were even said to live 1,000 years. Looking into their diet, they're not even using salt. You're not living that long using salt like that. Pink salt has iron oxide in it, What's that? Form of common rust. So the same chemical composition of rust is the same chemical composition of iron oxide. So we all know what happens if something is rusted. Pink salt is still an inorganic mineral. We know the relations of organic and inorganic is dealing with those type of ground earthy compounds. The body will not use inorganic minerals. It's polyhalate is also one of the type of minerals that's in pink salt. It's an evaporated mineral, and evaporated minerals leave deposits when they after they evaporate. So it's doing the same thing in your body. It's leaving a deposit. So what's always present in the blood is lime, right? We always got lime present in the blood. So say we get a bunion or something in our feet, that's a lime deposit. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been removed from the body. It fills that hole. That's why when we take long drives, you know what I'm saying, our bones start to get stiff. You know what I'm saying? It starts to hurt a little bit. Why? Because you got lime. You got inorganic minerals starting to fill into that position, weighing down the synovial fluid. So you start to age. That's why you can see when the baby's always doing what? The baby's always moving, kicking, moving. We need to move. Exercise. You know what I'm saying? I was reading some work by a guy called Dagan Iran. It's the teachers of the masters of the Far East. And he mentioned the Himalayan salt river. He was talking about ice and snow to live long. They're already in the mountains, people could help. So that was responsible for their longevity.